I'm done making excuses for Tua, and I hope I'm wrong, but I'm done, man. Not the tallest guy back there. Did you hear this? Not the tallest guy back there.
I mean, he's only being honest, man.
You already got paid all this goddamn money, man.
Yeah, and that's the
Like
thing. So
you better
if
grow a few fucking inches, man, or
I'm
bury yourself
similar,
in.
I'm similar to with Tua that I'm kind of like that, right? I'm honest to the fault. I'll tell people like, hey, yeah, I might not be as fast enough to do this job, right? Or whatever. But at the same time, my pride is what keeps me from getting fired from like everywhere I've been. Because once I do start to suck, I'm like, hell no, I'm going down with this shit. And that's kind of what I think we wish that Tua had. I'm not going down like this. This is not how I'm ending this season. What's up? What's up? What's up, Dolphins fans? We are back. Another episode of Outside the Pod, Miami Dolphins podcast. I'm here with Jules, my older brother. I am Danny D. We're going to host today's show as usual. Let's get right into it. And this has kind of been happening. I mean, we kind of know this. None of this is new that I'm about to say. But it seems that Ross is not making any changes. I mean, after the blowout to the Browns, probably the only team that we could say has been worse than the Dolphins their whole entire life span. Well, maybe there's a couple others, but I mean, it's the Browns, right? I mean, it's the Browns, man. After a blowout to the Browns, we should be talking about somebody getting fired. Like, somebody should be getting fired at this point. And I guess it's not gonna happen. It looks like he's keeping them to the end of the season. And I kind of just want us to kind of look into, kind of think this out. How is this going to play out? What is it? What are the pros and cons of keeping them throughout the season? Right now, I'm thinking you keep them because now you could tank without saying that you're tanking, right? So it's like, they're not going to do any better. They're not going to all of a sudden just start coaching up the team. They've obviously been trying their hardest. So their hardest is obviously not good enough. So you just keep them around so they just lose out, basically. Even though they're going to try their hardest, they're going to lose the locker room, which, they already have. It's looks probably like a dumpster fire. But what do you think? Do you think that, subconsciously, it's not, I don't think it's consciously, right? I don't think Ross is consciously saying, I'm going to keep them so they can tank out. Or maybe he is. I'm trying to rationalize why you would keep on Vice, why you would fire him, right? We kind of have that discussion of what's the pro and cons of each side. What do you think? Do you think that he's kind of tanking without saying they're tanking?
Maybe. I mean, does it really matter? I mean, if you bring in anyone else, does that
maybe it gives them a little jolt and they start to win
with the rest of the schedule we got? I don't know.
But that's the thing, though. Like, if you're looking at the Ravens, they're not doing that great. The Commanders are not doing as good as I thought they were going to be doing. You know what I mean? There's actually more winnable games than I thought before we started the season.
Well, those two in particular, but we still got,
Yeah, we got the Bills. We got the Steelers.
The Patriots again.
Patriots again. Oh, the Patriots are looking really good.
Cincinnati. They're looking better than us.
Better than us, yeah.
better than
Everybody's
us
better
now
than
with
us.
Flacco. They're looking way better than us with Flacco.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they might have freaking what's his face back, Burrow, by then. Nah, probably not. But still, with Flacco, it still look good. But anyways, to answer the question, pros and cons. You know, I get that typically you don't fire a GM in the middle of the season, but unless there's like you're the Dolphins and you're this crappy right now, and there's dysfunction there, I think that you do that, mid-season. I'm just the only thing that I can think of that the reason Ross is waiting is because maybe he's trying to figure out, is it McDaniel or is it Ross or is it Tua?
Grier, you mean? Yeah.
Like
You said
Grier,
Ross, but you mean yeah.
Oh well, yeah. Is it Grier? Is it
Well, it
it
is
Tua?
Ross,
Is it
but
McDaniel?
he's not gonna fire himself.
He's not gonna do that. No, he should maybe. But you know what I mean? Like that's the only not that I think that that's what I would do, but maybe that's what he's thinking. He clearly likes those people, right? He said it before.
That doesn't matter. That's not good business, though. You're just keeping them around because
Well,
you
does
like
he care though? I mean, he's still getting.
Yeah.
He's still probably making money.
You gotta care a little bit, man.
Well,
at least somewhat.
I fucking hope so.
You don't think other billionaire like owners are like talking shit? Like I would. If I was a billionaire that had like, the Patriots or whatever, I'd be calling them up all the time. I'd be like, hey, bro, your team fucking sucks. Just talking a bunch of crap. You know what I mean? I'd be like, man, when are you going to beat us? When you going to be, when you going to be the next, 72 Dolphins or whatever? I'll just be, like I said, I'll be just talking trash. But,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they're if he, I don't really know what his plan is, but it looks like he's waiting till the end of the season. And I mean, if that's the plan, then maybe he's looking at it this way where like, hey, well, I'm waiting to see what kind of candidates after the season is when all the candidates are going to free up from other teams and you could take a good look at everybody.
Wouldn't you be in the same boat if you just put an interim? And then at the end
I know that, but I'm just looking at the pros in his head, right? I'm looking at from his point of view, even though he should know that too. Yeah. In my opinion, look, if I'm talking Danny and what he would do, I'm a knee-jerk reactor, bro. And I don't like people that suck, especially if they're like, if I'm responsible for them. I feel like I suck if I continue to let them suck. You know what I'm saying? It's just leadership like 101. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't fix them, if they don't have what they have, you shouldn't have freaking hired them anyways. But at the same time, like, hey, if you're not doing the job, next man up. You know what I mean? And you get rid of that person.
I think typically what, there's got to be some kind of, amount of time that you give these people chance. You keep giving these people chances. And we're not that far removed from a 2023 where they looked really good, man. And maybe what,
he thinks that he could go. Obviously, the thing is, there's the adjustments that we talk about every week.
No,
he doesn't make.
And I totally agree with that. I'm just saying that typically that's what you would do, and maybe that's why he's doing it. But when you have this amount of dysfunction in the organization, and this, bullshit that both McDaniel and Tua and these guys are trying to feed us. Yeah, man, Jules would probably make a change. Would have probably made a change at this point already.
I think one of those things that's more importantly than the head coach, right? Because the interim, that's easy to just slide somebody else in. If he does good, great. If he doesn't, great. We get a pick. We get a high pick. You know what I mean? So and you get to basically interview one of your candidates already. You give them a head start. You watch them in real time.
Not that it does you any good, because we had those opportunities before,
right? And guys Yeah.
Guys that went on to be really good coaches.
I don't want to think about that, bro. I'm just saying.
Well, we got to remind people,
But most importantly, though, is I guess the problem would be removing the GM in the middle of the season. But at the same time, I'm thinking, well, you got to start making moves, dude. You're 1-6, 1-7 after this game, almost for sure. Like, you got to start making moves to put yourself in a good situation in the offseason, right?
Yeah, to me, you do, because you want to see how people react. You want to see who are the people that want to stick around. That kind of information you're not going to get in the offseason anymore. People are gone, and you got to still make decisions about the team and things like that. And you're not getting that feedback. You're not getting that reaction from people if you do it at the end of the season. That's why I would say that at this point, McDaniel should have been fired already, and see how the team reacts, how other coaches react, how other coaches coach the team. Yeah, or is there anyone that could maybe take the reins after this year? Because a couple of those people are probably going to interview, right? And so that's information that's probably more valuable than at any time after the season's done.
Yeah, I just know that. So the GM, if you were starting to make moves, but you knew that you weren't going to keep your GM, then you would want your new GM, or at least not the old one. Maybe your CEO or ops guy, whatever, Dan Marino, whoever is going to stick around in the organization is the one that organizes all the moves, right? All the trades, all the new restructuring, which Jordan Brooks just got, which is interesting, right? Opened up like $8 million or whatever. So something's happening. I mean, whatever. It could not. I mean, whatever may be happening.
And that gives you an indication of where Ross might be with Grier still, right? Because if you're convinced that is the GM you don't want, then why would you stick him around? And I said this last week, and I'm saying it again. Why would you let him stick around during this period of trading? We have until November 4th. If you're convinced that the guy is not the guy you want to stick around, then why are you keeping him now when he could make a couple more dumb decisions before November 4th?
I hope you're fucking wrong, bro.
I mean, right? That could happen.
No, you're fucking right.
So that tells
you want your new person.
That tells me that he might still want to keep him around.
Yeah, at least it sounds like at least Grier's sticking around, is what you're saying.
I hope not. Or maybe he's thinking, okay, he can't do that much damage. He could, man.
Do you? Yeah, absolutely. Especially if he kind of knows what's happening. You know what I mean? Like the goat again. Like how do you slaughter a goat, bro? You got to surprise that fucker. You know what I mean? So because if you don't, it's gonna spoil the meat, bro. And Chris Grier's gonna spoil it. Yeah. Yeah, if you're trying to make birria, way you gotta. Hey, come here, little goat buddy, and then, you know what I mean? Stick him right when he thinks he's happy and shit, cuddled up.
Yeah, otherwise the meat no good, man.
Yeah, the meat's no good, and Chris Grier might spoil the meat, bro. I mean, sour it up. But do you think that the players? How do you think the players will feel at this point in the season? And the way the team has been formulated and everything, if the GM and the head coach are fired, you think they'd be happy, or do you think they'll revolt? And I'm seeing it as an owner, as Ross, I'm thinking that'd be one of my reasonings why not to do it until the end of the season, would be because a lot of your players, especially some of the vets, like Fitzpatrick, Chubb, even Jalen Phillips, would probably start to revolt and ask to get the hell out of the team because they know it's over for sure at that point. What do you think?
I don't see why that would be a reason, though. I don't see it. I just don't see it. Why? I don't think the players would revolt. If anything, from if McDaniel is the problem, and you're convinced that he's the problem, and a lot of us are convinced that he is part of the problem, at least.
Do you think the players know that he's
the players
problem?
would be? I think so, dude. They won't say, but even Tua has alluded to some of that when he speaks to the press.
Vaguely, man. I mean, you could call it either way.
I mean, but players usually don't want to air that kind of stuff out until after the season, off season, or when they're gone or whatever, right? We heard a lot of former Dolphins players talk shit, but current Dolphins players don't want to do that.
Obviously.
Right?
Not yet.
We're
convinced most of our guys are, they seem like a bunch of nice dudes too. Like, not the type that would be like, like if freaking, what's his name was still here, freaking the other
Tyreek
Ramsey.
Oh, Ramsey. Yeah.
Tyreek might slip up and say something, you know what I mean? But Jalen Ramsey for sure be like, you know what? We're tired of this coach. Like, get him the hell out of here. And I don't think we have too many players of that sort left in the team. So they're nicer dudes. They respect them as a person. So they won't do it. Which, I mean, that could be a good and a bad thing. You know what I mean? You don't have too many dogs. You got a bunch of nice dudes that like hugging people instead of tackling them. But
is that by design though? Is that by design so that you can keep McDaniel happy and around? You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, the other way, right? If you fire them, it sets a tone when you're firing people. You, especially for the fans, right? To us, you start thinking, like you said earlier, where like, does Ross even care? He's making money. Does he even care if the Dolphins suck or not? But if you're making these moves and making these adjustments, at least head coach or maybe somebody needs to take accountability. Then you're putting that out there like, hey, I'm trying to make this team better. You're fired, bro, because something's wrong. It ain't. The roster is not 1-6 bad. You could call it, okay, the roster's not that great. We all know that. But it's not 1-6 bad, dude. They're undisciplined. They have like a fucking 100 penalties this year. It's freaking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike McDaniels, to me, is a freaking coordinator, dude. He's not managing the team. He does, like I said, no discipline, a bunch of penalties. A lot of the players are freaking talking out of their ass, not saying stuff like, I don't know where, we didn't know what we were doing. We were kind of just shooting from the hip. All kinds of crazy stuff, bro. That just shows me that he's not managing the whole team. He's probably, I bet you in practice, all he's worried about is his offensive plan, like a coordinator would. What would a coordinator be doing? Figuring out his plan. He's not worried about what the offensive line is doing. Are they communicating? Are they disciplined? Are they freaking jumping the fucking, count? All this crap. Are they going to their right assignments? All this. He's not worried about that. He's probably just looking. He's probably sat down with his pad, looking at his plays, looking at his plan, and hoping that his other coaches are doing it. Obviously, they're not. So, I mean, we talked about the other thing too. Like, if we get them fired now, we get to look at some of the candidates that are out there, like Smith or even Weaver at this point. I understand his defense is not looking that great. Excuse me. But who knows? He might get a jolt out of these players. He might, doesn't mean he won't be a good head coach. Who knows? Maybe he's being restricted by McDaniel of what he wants to do. Either way, you get a free look if you fire him, because in our eyes, he's no good anymore. You can't come back from this type of hole. You can't dig yourself back out. You might be able to become a good coach somewhere else, but with this team, they already know you. You can't change anything. You can't all of a sudden start getting, strict. Doesn't work that way. They're going to see right through that. So, anyway, I think we kind of talked about this quite enough. And then, I mean, I think, let me throw this last little bit out there too. Is when you at that point, everybody knows that you're tanking. You could rotate a lot of your freaking second string, third string players in, keep those bigger names a little bit more healthy. You could throw Eskridge in there. You could even bring in Theo Wees, and you start seeing what they could do in game with Ewers and stuff like that. Right in game, players that haven't been on the field. That's another element that you could start seeing. You basically start the offseason in camp early, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a bunch of guys in there that you can put in. Offensive
on both
line
sides
too.
of the ball.
Yeah, both sides. Yeah, absolutely. And coaches too. You're looking at coaches too. You're looking at how they react as well.
Yeah.
And then fans get a refresh, because if we go on every Sunday to look at the same kind of bullshit, then they're not showing up. We're not showing up.
Throwing the ball to freaking,
and this maybe gets a little bit more invite. Let's go see what they got, and so we'll go. But yeah, it definitely helps. I think in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and we'll get into the Browns now, but right before that, I just wanted to, before I lose my thought, is I need to stop seeing Malik Washington getting targets behind the line of scrimmage, bro. The screens are not working. Well, when's the last time you heard of Malik Washington? It's been a while. And it's not his fault. It's because the play calls are trash, and they're giving him the ball freaking 4 yards behind the scrimmage line, and he's getting tackled for a freaking loss of 1. It's ridiculous. Anyway, the Browns last Sunday beat the crap out of the Miami Dolphins 31-6. Just overall, a better performance. If you look at the stats, obviously, Dillon Gabriel had 100 yards. What was it? 13 for 18 with 100 yards. He didn't have to do much. Quick passing. He was getting the ball out quicker than Tua. Because when I was looking at some of the tape, the pass rush was kind of there, bro. But Dillon Gabriel was getting it out because he had the underneath guys, right there. They had a lot of fucking good little plays designed to make sure that we don't get to them and disrupt that. And then, of course, the running game was working for them. Surprisingly, Junkins only got 84 yards. So we would have lost that bet. That would have been funny. Because we were thinking, hey, the over-under was like 89. And yeah, we would have lost that. So, wow. But the dude got 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, he still had a good game. He probably had like 10 carries or something like that for 84 yards because he had some chunk plays. And then they ran the other rookie. So had 2 rookie running backs kicking our ass the whole game. And then, of course, we had 4 turnovers, one by Eskridge on a fumble, kick return. And then the 3, some of the most terrible interceptions that I've seen.
Yeah, and
they're trying to blame. Some people are trying to say Achane dropped the ball. Dude, that was such a high ball, dude. Besides the point that Waddle was wide open.
Mm-hmm.
Right next to him.
And I heard the guy, the announcer, right? Spiro Ditas, he's saying, Tua's been under duress all game. I'm done with the excuses, bro. I'm just done. Where you got your $500 million quarterback. Well, I don't know if that's not that much, right? Anymore.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, these guys are supposed to figure that shit out, dude. Like, Dillon Gabriel's doing much better against the blitz than you are. Get your fat ass out of the way. Move up in the pocket. Slide out.
Yeah. And you gotta create the lanes, bro.
Yeah. And I know this. All this is crap, right? The offensive line is crap, but the play calling is crap. But they're, some quarterbacks, veterans, the good quarterbacks, they're gonna find a way to get that ball out, throw it away, take the sack. Fuck, don't turn it over is the worst thing you can do, bro.
Yeah.
And at this point in time, Tua is not making the right decision.
No, No, that time was a bad decision. Thrown way over freaking Achan's head. And that was the pick six, right? That was the one that they took back for like 50 yards. And then the other one's straight to defenders, bro. Straight to defenders. Not open. One of them was like triple coverage. Just terrible, dude. And looking weak. The arm is looking
weak.
It's
looking
bro.
Weaker than before.
So Tua, if I'm wondering what his schedule looked like in the offseason between the season where he wasn't under contract, like before his contract was signed, and then now, is he working out as hard as he did before 2023 when he had that season where he was ripping the ball, bro? Yeah, he was underthrown. He's still not the strongest arm, probably the weakest arm. But right now, it's like high school week.
Yeah,
he's throwing floaters.
Exactly. He looked leaner before. He looked more mobile. He looked more decisive. He didn't panic. There's a lot of things that changed here that are very different.
And our offensive line's always been trash. I mean, there's been times where we do have, not always, but what I'm saying is there was times where we did have like everybody healthy that was good. But that's been very little time while he's been with a Dolphin. He's had bad lines and done better. This is the worst he's ever been. And if you look at the game, if you look at the game tape, you will see that there was times where he had plenty of time to throw. And would still make the decision, the first read, bad decision, loss of yards, or maybe freaking a gain of 2 yards, whatever the case, because, let's get the ball to Achan again. Or Malik Washington 6 yards behind the scrimmage line on a screen. When I bet you there's people open.
And there was.
He got one to Connor, wide open. Your tight ends are open, bro.
So the first interception, the one, is the Achan interception the first interception? That one could have been avoided. Waddle was open in the middle. The second one, he just threw it too late. If he would have thrown it sooner.
And I didn't clip it. I was having trouble clipping today.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. But, he just threw it too late where the safety was able to react. And so his decision-making is not as sharp as it was, for sure. For damn sure.
Yeah, so, we had a bunch of penalties as well. And there's nothing good about the offense that really, besides there was the one Achan run, of course. What are you going to say? There's nothing that Achan hasn't been able to do, and I haven't been able to make this work, so I got a screen share, just so we could see it. So yeah, Achan's the only one that's can make him plays, bro. Like, and this could have been a touchdown. A good play by, was it Campbell, Jason Campbell, I think, that caught him. Surprising he had a better angle at it. But yeah, Achan still did Achan things. Achan still had a good game.
But that's
like, the only thing that you could say about the offense.
Yeah, it was one-dimensional, right? And you could see there was at least one guy going right at Achan every time.
Yeah. He had to force, like always. He's gonna make somebody miss. He's gonna break a tackle, and get the yardage that he needs usually. So enough about that game. Somebody should have been fired. I think everybody's saying it, right? And even there's people that's like, oh, changes are coming and everything. But we just talked about it, bro. I don't know. And changes are coming maybe to the roster, right? Are they making trades? Are they trying to grab somebody to try to help them? Maybe some line. I don't know. Maybe that's why they opened up some more money. But we'll see. Again, Jordan Brooks got restructured, making some money. And everybody thinks that something's going to happen after that. But moving on to the Falcons. This weekend on Sunday, 1 p.m., It's going to be a Mercedes-Benz stadium in Atlanta. So, I mean, nothing to worry about weather or anything like that. The Falcons are favored by 7.5. Aaron Waller looks like he went to IR. So, like I said it on X. Don't think we're going to see him again. That's my prediction. I don't think we're seeing Darren Waller again. And, people are, okay, we'll leave him alone. He's got this and that, mental health, whatever. That's fine. Yeah, sure. I'm just letting letting everybody know so everybody has that expectation. Don't expect Waller to be back on the field for the Miami Dolphins. I think he's done. He's either going to go on another team and try it again, or probably just, that'd be it. He probably thought he was coming here. He's going to compete at least for a playoff spot, and that's obviously not happening. So he's probably, you know what, I'm hurt. 30-something years old, 33 years old now, so, I'm getting the hell out of here. So the Falcons have a top-ranked passing defense, giving only 141 yards per game. So we're going to have trouble passing on them. They hold quarterbacks to a very low completion rating. I mean, we don't need any more help in that area. They're not going to need to really play that good of a game against our team right now. So we're looking to have a pretty hard time passing the ball, and we have to establish that. But what do you think? Are we, will we see? I think the question is, do you think we'll see Quinn Ewers at some point in this game?
I think just on paper, you look at these games and you say, well, Atlanta's going to be a much harder matchup for us than Cleveland. And Cleveland just spanked us, man.
And spanked us, yeah.
Like, how is this going to be any different? How can you even expect? Man, we thought Miami was going to win their second game last week. Not only did we lose, we got fucking spanked, man.
Spanked. They look good compared to us.
And that's what we are right now. That's what the Dolphins are right now. We're that team that makes everybody else look much better.
Yeah. And I remember thinking back to like the Colts. Oh, you know what I was gonna clip too? I wanted to clip maybe next episode, and I'm giving it away a little bit. But I wanted to clip all our stuff that we were talking about in the offseason. We're doing it. I hope I remember for next episode.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna start clipping what we said for like each
how
game,
wrong
right?
we were.
Yeah, how wrong we were for like the Falcons, right? Oh, this is a winnable game, whatever the hell we were saying that we predicted that we're gonna beat them.
We're 5-2
specifically with the Colts. Yeah, we're
probably
5-2
at this
right
point.
Now. Yeah. Exactly. Sad music in the background, I gotta get better at the production. But anyway, yeah, I mean, this not gonna be it. Michael Penix is banged up. I don't think he's gonna miss a game, but it looks like he was questionable or he didn't participate in practice or something like that. But it's not like he's the team, anyways. I mean, the Falcons he's not carrying the team by any means. But they do have Bijan, and I'm looking for Bijan to run 250 yards on this team.
Now you got to bet the over. Last week you had the rookie, so it wasn't
well,
that.
I mean, 250. No, I'm not gonna bet the over on 250. That's a lot. I was just exaggerating.
No. What's the over under this week?
For Bijan? What? For Bijan rushing yards? I didn't look. I didn't look at the Vegas odds.
It's gotta be like 149 or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be something high.
It's gonna be ridiculous.
But who knows? Maybe they don't. If we turn the ball over 4 or 5 times, they might not have to do too much. If they get like 2 pick sixes, and then the rest of the time they kind of just run their second string running back because because they sat Bijan Robinson down, then we might not win. That's how bad these games get, bro. Like they're not even they're running their third string players out like it's a preseason game. You know what I mean?
Well,
so
right.
they do struggle against the run though. For on our side, our running back has to do 100 yards for sure. They've been letting about 150 yards a game, so we definitely could exploit that weakness. We need to exploit that weakness. We need to run both running backs. Stop putting Ollie Gordon in there for one run and then taking him out. That's not a good finta way. If you're trying to, get that finta in, you have to run him more. So people, so when the play action happens, Ollie Gordon could block for you to give you additional protection because he's going to be better than that than Achane. And then you could actually be successful with the play action. You're looking up this over-under or what?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm going to see if I can get in the action.
But, yeah, I mean, keys to the game. Didn't write. I'm shooting from the hip here because I didn't write this part down. Definitely run the ball. But the defense, all they have to do better is the same kind of number one key of last week is stop and make the quarterback beat you. We said that. We said Dylan Gabriel needs to beat us.
Yeah,
but
they
didn't let that happen. They didn't get that far.
And you know what? I think, we still limited Judkins to less than four yards a carry. There was a few chunk plays in there.
Yeah.
The 46 yarder, right. Was it? Other than that, though, it was a lot of stopping the run. But I think that we shot ourselves in the foot a lot. Turnover. We had 4 turnovers, a lot of penalties. The play calling freaking sucked. And on third down, we were like 2 for 13 or something like that. What the heck?
Yeah.
Did they just outcoach us?
It was a screenplay, dude. It was so, like I said, it was, I feel like third down, I could just imagine the screenplay to freaking, Malik Washington, 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Like I said.
If you'd have told me that we held Judkins to 84 yards, I would have said, dude, we won the game, bro. Right? You tell me Judkins went for 84 and Gabriel went for 100 yards passing. I would have said, dude, we won the game, bro.
Yeah, that ain't shit. How did they score 31 points on that? Only 1 pick six. It's not like they had 2 pick sixes.
But that's what I'm saying, though. We gave them short fields the whole fucking short. You turn it over 4 times.
Well, remember one of the interceptions was like we were backed up in the end zone, and he threw the ball right to like the freaking in the middle
right.
linebacker.
2 of them were. 2 of them were. One was like the first play after a kickoff, or after the halftime, right? Wasn't it?
I don't remember,
dude. I think it was right the first series right after halftime. I think he threw an interception. Like around midfield. I think it was around midfield. But the last one was in the end zone. He was standing in the end zone when he threw that pick. So yeah. If you're
so they just after that, Judkins just had to walk in 5 yards. And that's why he only had 84 yards. Also they didn't run the ball. Like how many carries did he have? I'm about to look right now.
Half of those was on one carry.
25 carries for 84.
Yeah, exactly.
Achane 13 for 82. Like that's amazing, bro.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You would have told me after this game, you said, hey, Jules, dude, Judkins went for 84 yards and Gabriel only had 100 yards in the air. I would have said, dude, we fucking won that game, right?
This game was on the offense, bro. This game was on the offense. This one, you could say that the defense was not at fault because you're absolutely right. They always had the short field. The freaking defense was backed up on their heels. Almost every single drive. That's why they got 31 points and obviously 1 pick six.
And the other thing
Eskridge fumbled like at the 40. That's another freaking, R40.
Also, the penalties. How many freaking penalties that's a lot of penalty yards. So yeah, those don't count on Judkins or Gabriel. They're just penalty yards. So we give them, couple of personal fouls, interference on the one interference on. By the way, I will say this though, just I think it was a little bit one-sided on the penalties because there was a couple of them that come on, man.
I mean, I try to just. Whatever.
I know those are excuses.
Don't put yourself in that situation, man. like for the team.
Yeah. But right. I mean, a couple of those calls were like, come on, man. Like
I don't remember. I don't recall. But I mean, you could be right. I mean,
comes to mind right away. The Fitzpatrick interference was crap.
I can't remember. I'd have to take your word for it right now.
Yeah, was interference or legal contact, one of the two. Even the guys that were announced.
I do remember thinking that was weak. As a matter of fact, I could probably pull up like the chat with me and you where I was like, that was weak.
Yeah. No, even the announcer said. The announcer said, I don't know if I agree with that call.
Do you trust Weaver to be able to stop Bijan Robinson the same way we kind of did with the...
No.
They don't really have to worry about the pass that much, bro. They really don't. Not with this team. They did, like you just said, they kind of did it with the Browns. I know Judkins is not Bijan Robinson, but...
Did it even matter, though? I mean, if we can't get our offense going... Because they're thinking the same thing. All we have to do is stop freaking Achane. Who else is going to beat us? Tua's going to beat us right now?
Yeah, it's much easier on their side, actually. It's just Achane's pretty hard to stop.
He is. Just keep feeding. Our offensive line sucks, and we're one.
If they focus just on Achane, that's what I would do. I'll just focus on just let my corners get on Waddle with a safety, and then the rest of the team is basically on Achane, bro.
Yeah, you bracket Waddle. He's not gonna exactly
because McDaniel doesn't want to pass it to anybody else. Westbrook Akini will be over there butt ass naked. I'm open. You know what I mean? They won't pass it to him. Anyway, so I saw this. This is not from me, man. There was somebody on X, but I didn't catch his name. But this is the first time because somebody else who was there was one of the beat writers. I can't remember. Had said something with Mendoza that didn't even rhyme. It didn't even make sense because they were like, hey, it was suck for luck. It was what was it for Tua? Tank for Tua. And then he said something else for Mendoza, but it was terrible. It was terrible. I was like, no, bro. Like, I remember I replied to it. I was like, no. But somebody else, and it's in Spanish, said it. I wish I knew his name because he needs credit for it on X. But he said, fallando por Fernando, which if you don't know Spanish, is failing for Fernando, right? But it works. Fallando for Fernando. So, Mendoza, that is, right? Who is a native of Florida, is a Miami Dolphins fan. His heart would probably be in it, but I don't know if I buy into him just yet. We'll see. And I'm not big on, I'm not a big college scout anyways. I just go by what everybody else is saying. But anyway, the question is, are we going to continue fallando por Fernando?
I don't think we have a choice. We suck that bad, bro. Like, what?
You don't even. Yeah.
Can we even control that at this point?
You don't have to try.
Exactly. We don't have to do anything. We just have to show up, and that'll happen. It'll happen by itself.
We're failing. Yeah, we're failing.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, are you predicting 31-6? What are you predicting?
Gosh, man.
Are you gonna be positive like we were last week, and we were like, 20-17?
I'm done with that. I'm done with that shit, dude. Because I think that the last couple of times that Tua's been on the mic, if I'm a teammate, you're just like, you're already like, you know what? I'm just not listening to this dude anymore. It's just because I just can't, dude. I'm done making excuses for Tua. And I hope I'm wrong, like I always say, right? But I'm done, man. This not the tallest guy back there. Did you hear this? I'm not the tallest guy back there.
I mean, he's only being honest, man. He's not being able to see. But I mean, he's pointing out his own flaws, right? So
fucker, you already got paid all this goddamn money, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
You better grow a few fucking inches, man, or bury yourself in.
I'm similar with Tua, that I'm kind of like that, right? I'm honest to the fault. I'll tell people like, hey, yeah, I might not be as fast enough to do this job, right, or whatever. But at the same time, My pride is what keeps me from getting fired from like everywhere I've been. Because once I do start to suck, I'm like, hell no, I'm going down with this shit. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I think we wish that Tua had. I'm not going down like this, bro. This is not how I'm ending this season.
Well, yeah, and he did the total opposite, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because he then goes on and say, like, you know, even if I throw 5 interceptions, something like that, even if I throw 5 interceptions, I still get to go home with my kids and blah, blah, blah. It is true. In every job, it is true. But the guy that I want quarterbacking this team has to say, I can't wait to go back out there on the field and do some work. Like, that's what I want him to say.
Yeah.
When he gets out of the freaking Miami Dolphins headquarters and he goes home, yeah, disconnect, fucker. Like, do whatever you need with your family or whatever. But when you're on that microphone talking to the media, and you know, it should be known that you're talking to fans too. Like, that's what I want to hear from you, man.
I'm not gonna give my prediction because I agree with you in all your feelings, and they're gonna lose badly to the Falcons, and maybe they'll surprise us. Who knows? But I want to spend the rest of the time this episode kind of talking about when Quinn Ewers came into the game. We forgot to talk about that during the Browns recap. Quinn Ewers came into the game and had a terrible first freaking possession. Got sacked. Obviously he's a rookie, first time in, full speed. Yes, it's going to happen. A lot of people are like, oh, God, look, Ewers sucks too. Okay, give him a chance. I'm not saying that he's better than fucking Tua at this point. But you got to give him some more time, bro. That was his first snaps at the NFL level, not the preseason. And he got a sack. But I wanted to play this. Is this? So let me share this one. Tua doesn't make this throw, bro.
No. I know what you're talking about.
You know which I'm talking about, right?
Fuck yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Wait. Yeah, me to play it. Okay. So Tua doesn't make this throw. And many of our wide receivers that are starting don't make this catch. That's the other thing I wanted. Eskridge, I've been saying it since the preseason, bro, has a little more dog than any of our other receivers.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my comp, bro. I said, this guy reminds me of Landry. That was a Landry-esque catch. I know he fumbled. Yes, he did. He's still a rookie. Well, no, second year. Hasn't played much, though.
No, he hasn't played much.
So, I mean, he's going to make mistakes. But what I seen from Eskridge is give him a fucking shot, bro. You know what I mean? In game with Ewers, because apparently they have a better connection and better chemistry together than Tua with any of the other receivers. Now, I remember them in the preseason, bro. Ewers used to fling it, and Eskridge was there. They connected a bunch of times.
And Weeze.
And Weeze, too, yeah. You could probably put them three in and probably, yeah. You probably put them three in and they're good. Yeah.
The Washington Twins.
Washington Twins, yeah. That's good. But I just wanted to throw that out there before the closeout. Is that I'm not saying Quinn Ewers at this point is better than Tua. But we know that Tua is probably over. And I get it. He's under contract for at least another year that you have to pay him fully guaranteed. But does that mean you have to continue to throw him out there when he sucks? Let him sit on his fucking ass on the bench. And maybe in his fucking brain, he'll finally snap the fuck out of it, man. And say, you know what? I'm not letting Quinn Ewers get in front of me. Maybe that real life finally slaps him in the face and says, damn, bro, 7th round pick. Is it 7th? 5th? 7th?
7th, bro. It's a
7th round pick just took over your job. Pick. Maybe he needs that. And now's the chance. It's not like you're coming back. That's why a lot of people, oh, well, you think yours is going to be better than Tua? Probably not. Most likely not. At least not 2023 Tua. Right now, Tua probably. It's actually a very good chance that Ewers could outperform Tua the way he's fucking playing right now. Because he's trash.
Well, he made the
Can't
biggest
get
play.
any worse. Huh?
In the air, he made the biggest play this last game.
Yeah.
In
the
like
whole game.
2 series.
His arm stopped here, bro. It didn't go further than this. And he still flung it 40 yards.
How many yards was that? I'm like,
you want me to play it again?
Yeah,
let's look at it again.
Shit, that's the best play of the game. Well, except for the H-N run.
Let me where'd it go? Did I close it? Damn it, I closed it.
That's all right.
No, I'll get it. No, that's good. It's good. It's good. We want to watch.
He was at the 20 when he released that, I believe. If I remember correctly, he was around the 20.
Go back.
Yeah, see? Wait, he
released it at the 12 and 55, 45.
He caught it at the 40 on the other side, right?
Do it again.
So that's 38 plus 48 yards. That's 48 yards in the air on his back foot.
When he
with a guy in his face. That
his arm didn't even follow through. He didn't follow
through. Yeah, no. Right. Yeah.
Tua doesn't make that pass, son. And that's what, like, dude, I clipped this. I had to clip this one. Because, I mean, this is garbage time or whatever. But look at Eskridge, bro. He's pumped. He doesn't give a fuck. He just cares about himself. And we need that.
Are you
I
saying
don't care if
selfish?
we're losing. I don't care. That's a man right there that's like, I don't care if we're losing. I'm going to get mine. That's what I need.
I think he's pumped because he's showing something, right? He says, "See, give me the damn ball.
Fucking mine, bro.
That's give me the damn ball.
Yeah.
Give me a shot.
Yeah.
You see what I give
That's what the fuck I want. Tua's not doing that.
Yeah. No,
Tua wants to sit on the bench, bro.
I got you. I agree, man.
Oh, fuck, man. Fired up. I need to coach this team.
No, don't do that.
Anyway, so that's about time for us.
Oh yeah, dude.
But we will
way over.
Yeah, we will catch you guys next week. Same time, same place. We'll preview and recap the this coming game, and then preview the next game. Which is it the Spain one yet? It's Spain, right?
Yeah.
No, it's Buffalo on Thursday. No, not Buffalo.
Yeah, it's a
Ravens.
Short week, yeah.
Is it Ravens on Thursday?
Someone.
Yeah, so it's Thursday game. So we'll So that means we'll have to schedule some other time so we could do that
Wednesday,
a little earlier. So maybe Wednesday we'll drop Wednesday night or Tuesday night. But either way, we'll see you guys then. Thanks for joining us. Leave a comment. Let us know how you feel about this team, about everything that I asked Jules today. Answer the same questions in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll catch you next week, like I said, for the next episode. Short week. We'll go against the Ravens. And hey, freaking Lamar Jackson was practicing today. Or at least he was doing a rehab practice. So, anyway, thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next week. Fins up. Take care.
Fins up.